Reconvene back into the finance meeting at this time. Mr. Shields?
I will make a motion to come out of, we came out of executive session at 6:38 PM, and then I'll make a motion to adjourn finance.
Second.
All in favor of adjourning finance?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned from finance. At this time, I'd like to call the April 28, 2025 council meeting to order. If you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Coin.
Here.
DeSalvo. Here. Hare. Rose.
Here.
Shields.
Here.
Simmons.
Here.
Simpson.
Here.
Reading of the minutes.
Mr. President,
Mr. Shields.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of April 14, 2025 as prepared and submitted by the clerk.
Second.
Any discussion on the minutes? Will the clerk please call the roll on the approval of the minutes?
DeSalvo. Yes. Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Simmons.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Reports of Standing Committee. The Finance Committee met prior to council this evening and will meet again in 2 weeks. Health, Safety, and Sanitation, Mr. Simpson.
Thank you, Mr. President. No meeting scheduled, nothing to report.
Public Properties, Mr. Shields.
Thank you, Mr. President. No meeting scheduled, no report this evening.
Special Legislation, Mr. Rose.
Thank you, Mr. President. Nothing to report, no meeting scheduled.
Water and Utilities, Mr. Simmons.
Nothing to report. We have no water meeting scheduled, but there's a utility rate review committee on, I think it's May 19th.
Thank you. Emerging Technologies, Mrs. DeSalvo.
Thank you, Mr. President. We have no meetings scheduled and nothing new to report at this time.
Thank you. Requests for council action. We have several for finance. We have 2594 budget amendments, 2595 fiscal year 25 CDBG allocation grant, 2596 Southtown streetscape improvements, 2597 amend code 13301 association memberships service, 2598 waterline easement South Court water main loop, 2599 access and landscape easement South Court water tower site, 25100 fair market value easements for Prospect Street Bridge, 25101 expenditure for HSH construction and excavating, 25102 First Energy utility easement, 25103 construction agreement High Point Drive widening, 25104 expenditure for health and fitness, 25105 American Dream video release MCRC, and 25106 MMHA lease 135 North Elmwood. Reports of municipal officers. Mayor Hamel.
Thank you, Mr. President. The 2024 annual report is available on the city website, or for those that would rather, you can stop in. We have copies both at the council office and the mayor's office for viewing as well. The report contains a great deal of data and documents the positive financial health and growth of our city. I wanted to especially thank Sarah Tome from Community Development for her efforts in taking all the information from the various departments and department heads and creating a consistent and professional report. And I thank the council and the department heads and staff members for making Medina so special. The Chimney Rock video, which is the group that came up from South Carolina for the Christmas celebration here in January, is now available on the Armstrong channel, YouTube, and Facebook. This coming Thursday, May 1st, is the National Day of Prayer events. The first event is 9:15, a community prayer service at St. Francis Church, including the children that attend school there. There will also be prayer stations at multiple locations in the community, including Chick-fil-A, Bueller's on 18, the outside area of the Medina County Courthouse entrance, Cups Cafe, North Court Laundry, which is actually at Liberty and State Road, Keller's Market, the Cleveland Clinic Chapel, and the Medina Gazebo. There will be a community gathering on the square at 6:30 p.m. The rain location is Medina Community Church at 416 South Broadway next to the trail. Square events upcoming, farmers markets, are from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. They begin May 17th, then every Saturday thereafter through May. There's a Gospel Fest on the square on May 17th from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. These are all free. Medina City Schools Strings in the Park is May 22nd from noon to 1 on the square. Ladies' Night Out is Thursday, May 22nd from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. And the Medina Half Marathon is May 24th, and it runs from about 6:45 a.m. to 11 a.m. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Durham, Director of Finance.
Thank you, Mr. President. There's one item that came from finance that I'll address when we get there.
Thank you. Mr. Lanier, Assistant Law Director.
Thank you, Mr. President. No report, Law Department.
Thank you. Mrs. Marshall, Economic Development Director.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just a couple items to note for council and the public this evening. Our next round of ribbon cuttings are scheduled for Friday, May 16th. We have 2 scheduled that day. The first one is at 2 p.m. for a new business called Impact Collision, located at 539 North State Road. They said that their business is booming because of all the deer car collisions. Like, that's a true story. And then the second one is at 3 p.m. for Coldstream Air Services MX, which is the new aircraft maintenance facility out at our airport, which is located at 2050 Medina Road in Sharon Township. And so we hope that you will be able to join us that day. And then again, the ribbon cuttings are a collaboration with Main Street Medina and the Medina Chamber of Commerce. And that's my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Lieutenant Markham, Police Department.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have no report.
Thank you, Mr. Bacoli, Service Director.
Thank you, Mr. President. Contractor has started the grinding out here on Friendship from Court Street to Medina Street. They were successful in getting the milling done, and we're looking to place resurfacing pavement on Wednesday, weather contingent. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gladish, Building Official.
Thank you, Mr. President. Myers grand opening will be on May 8th. There'll be an owner-sponsored ribbon cutting ceremony on May 8th at 9 a.m. The Acme project, the construction is on schedule. Goal is to open for business the second week in July. And then the City Hall parking deck electric vehicle fast charger installation is now complete. It just needs to be programmed before it can be used. I'm told that it can provide a full charge in less than 45 minutes. It has 2 different cables for the different types of vehicles, but only one vehicle can be charged at a time. That ends my report.
Thank you, Mr. Worley, Parks and Recreation Director.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just a couple updates. First, from the Rec Center, our Memorial Pool season passes are on sale May 1st. So hurry up and get those so you can make it to the pool on Memorial Day weekend. Secondly, the Forestry Department on this past Thursday celebrated Arbor Day with the help of the Kiwanis Club, the K-Kids, the Shade Tree Commission. We all potted about a little over 525 thornless honey locusts to distribute to the 3rd graders in the school district, and I wanted to thank everybody who volunteered to help with that project. Believe it or not, this will be 43 years that has been going on, and this event right here helps us meet one of our requirements to retain our Tree City USA designation, so we really appreciate that. And lastly, from the Parks Department, all of our sports associations are now in full swing, so be mindful if you travel to the parks during the week, or especially on the weekends, as there's now a lot of traffic. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Patton, City Engineer.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have no report this evening.
Thank you. Chief Walters, Fire Chief.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just a quick update on the 24-hour staffing trial that we're doing at the fire department. We're a few months into that now. It's going very well. We are scheduled out through May, and the firefighters will be doing the June schedule later this week.
Thank you. Mr. Dutton, Planning and Community Development Director.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have no report.
Thank you. Notices, communications, and petitions, there are none. There's no unfinished business. Introduction of visitors. Members of the public will be permitted the opportunity to speak on any issue or concern which pertains to the city during the portion of the council agenda devoted to the introduction of visitors. All comments shall be directed to the chair, and a reasonable time limit of approximately 5 minutes will be imposed. If there's a group Please appoint a spokesperson. Speakers should approach the rear microphone and state their name and address so it can be entered into the minutes. Members of the public will be afforded the opportunity to comment on other portions of the meeting as determined by the chair or by a vote of the majority of council members present. Is there anybody that wishes to address council at this time? Mr. Farron?
Good evening, Brian Farron, 206 North Elmwood Street, representing Medina County Historical Society. I'm here tonight to do a little delayed in presentation, but our mayor was out of town for a few weeks, so Mr. President, bear with me. This is a certificate of recognition and an award for the preservation of the World War II War Bond Building that now sits at the McDowell Phillips House Museum. This is done by the Cleveland Restoration Society and the American Institute of Architects, and it was presented as an award of excellence for the preservation of a community building to the city of Medina in recognition of outstanding work in Medina War Bond Building. So this is, we were up against some pretty hefty competition, and I'm pleased to say this is really another tribute to Medina's trying to keep our historic buildings intact. And as all of you know, that War Bond Building was moved there several years ago, and we had volunteer labor for the most part restore it. And it's in good condition now. Hopefully it will last many more years. So the mayor and I joined a press conference on a Zoom meeting where we discussed the details of how this came about. Chief Kinney escorted us, but he didn't get on the plaque. But anyway, the mayor and the Medina County Historical Society each received this plaque. So I'd like to present it to the mayor at this time.
Thank you. Sure.
Thank you.
Nobody keep it. We're going to give it back. Okay, anybody else that wishes to address council at this time? Okay, introduction and consideration of ordinances and resolutions. At this time, I'd entertain a motion to suspend the rules on requiring 3 readings on the following ordinances and resolutions. Resolution 7325, ordinance 7425, 7525, 7625, Resolution 7725, 7825, Ordinance 7925, 8025, 8125, 8225, 8325, 8425, and 8525.
Mr. President?
Mr. Shields?
I will make a motion to suspend the rules requiring 3 readings of tonight's ordinances and resolutions.
Second.
Any discussion on the motion to suspend the rules on 3 readings? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Rose,
Yes.
Shields,
Yes.
Simmons,
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Coin,
Yes.
DeSalvo.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
Resolution 7325, a resolution authorizing participation in Ohio Department of Transportation's Cooperative Purchasing Program for the purchase of sodium chloride or rock salt.
Move to approve?
Second.
Any discussion? Mr. Pacoli?
Thank you, Mr. President. I thought it was spring. We could talk about buying salt. So this is our annual salt bid, and we are electing to purchase 1,900 tons in the next year's program. Thank you. It's due by May 2nd, but I understand we don't do the emergency clause for resolution, so that's not necessary. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion on the adoption of the resolution? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Shields,
Yes.
Simmons,
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
DeSalvo.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
Can I vote?
I'm sorry, Rose.
Yes. Thank you.
6-0.
Ordinance 7425, an ordinance authorizing the increase of expenditure to Rocco Masonry for the Service Department.
Move to approve?
Second.
Discussion, Mr. Pacoli.
Thank you, Mr. President. So this request is to increase the PO that we have with Rockwell Masonry. We used the $19,000 of the $20,000 PO to handle some areas of the public square that we identified as potential trip hazards and that need to be replaced and repaired. The increase that we're asking for, we're going to use for storm sewer-related concrete aprons and sidewalks that are in disrepair with structures that are placed there and it failed. So, thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Simmons,
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Coin,
Yes.
DeSalvo,
Yes.
Rose,
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
Ordinance 7525, an ordinance authorizing the purchase of one 2025 Ford F600 cab and chassis truck from Montrose Ford to be used by the Street Department.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion, Mr. Pacoli?
Thank you, Mr. President. So this purchase is through the CUE, University and Education Program from Montrose. The amount is $69,898.31 for the cab and chassis. The next ordinance request is for the Henderson product purchase of a dump body. This is a replacement truck. We were running with 550s, which are a little bigger than a 1 ton. This is a little sturdier, beefier, if you will. And it's a replacement that we had budgeted for in the street department. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Will the clerk please call the roll on the adoption of the ordinance?
Simpson.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
DeSalvo.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Simmons.
Yes.
Ordinance 7525 passes 6-0.
Ordinance 7625, an ordinance authorizing the purchase of one Mark III utility-size single-axle dump body from Henderson Products, Inc. to be mounted on the cab and chassis and to be used by the Streets Department.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Pacoli, you
Thank you,
mentioned-
Mr. President. And this is what we just referenced would be the dump body that goes on the cab and chassis. And this will be purchased through the National Purchasing Partners Program contract. Thank you.
Any further discussion on the ordinance? Clerk, please call the roll.
Coin.
Yes.
DeSalvo.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Simmons.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Ordinance 7625 passes 6-0.
Resolution 7725, a resolution authorizing the mayor to submit a grant application for a USA Water Polo grant for the Medina Community Recreation Center.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion, Mr. Worley.
Thank you, Mr. President. This request is to apply for a grant to purchase water polo goals to be used by the Recreation Center with the intent of starting up a polo league that will hopefully eventually develop into a competitive water polo program. The total amount for the grant request is $4,070.
Any further discussion? Will the clerk please call the roll?
DeSalvo.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Simmons.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
Resolution 7725 passes 6-0.
Resolution 7825, a resolution authorizing the mayor to submit a grant application for a T-Mobile hometown grant to purchase and install 15 6-foot benches on walking trails in 8 of the city parks.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion, Mr. Worley.
Thank you, Mr. President. This grant is to address a number of comments that we get from seniors and park users who are interested in having more benches along our trails and our park amenities. The grant request, as you mentioned, will cover the purchase and installation, and the requested amount for this grant is $20,000.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Simmons.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
DeSalvo.
Yes.
Resolution 7825 passes 6-0.
Ordinance 7925, ordinance authorizing the increase of the expenditure to Environmental Equipment Sales and Service Holdings LLC for the Service Department.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion, Mr. Pacoli.
Thank you, Mr. President. As we discussed in finance, I started the original PO for $10,000. We use this company to purchase parts for garbage trucks. Specifically, we have truck 636, which is in need of a replacement tailgate. That tailgate cost roughly $26,700 with a shipping freight charge of $2,000. And that's what this increase will allow us to replace that tailgate and tailgate frame. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Clerk, please call the roll on adoption of ordinance.
Shields.
Yes.
Simmons.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
DeSalvo.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Ordinance 7925 passes 6-0.
Ordinance 8025, ordinance authorizing the mayor to advertise for a competitive bid and award a contract to the successful bidder for the 2025-2026 Equipment and Asphalt General Paving Services Program for the Service Department.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion, Mr. Pacoli.
Thank you, Mr. President. This contract is scheduled to run out in May of this year, so we're going to advertise and bid for the 25-26 paving season with our asphalt paving program. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Clerk, please call the roll on adoption of ordinance.
Simmons.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
DeSalvo.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Ordinance 8025 passes 6-0.
Ordinance 8125, ordinance authorizing the mayor to advertise for competitive bids and award a contract to the successful bidder for job number 1151 US 42 resurfacing and pedestrian safety improvements project.
Move to approve?
Second.
Discussion, Mr. Patton.
Thank you. We've talked about this project before. We're now at a point where we'd like to bid it and award it. This will resurface US 42 or Court Street from just a little bit north of Homestead down to Lafayette. And it will also do all four sides of the square and add those pedestrian safety improvements, the bump outs on the square as well. The project is estimated at a little over 1.9 million. About 1.4 million of that is coming from two different grants.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Clerk, please call the roll on adoption of ordinance.
Simpson.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
DeSalvo.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Simmons.
Yes.
Ordinance 8125 passes 6-0.
Ordinance 8225, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute preliminary legislation with the Ohio Department of Transportation, ODOT, for the urban paving of State Route 3 and State Route 57.
Move to approve?
Second.
Discussion, Mr. Patton.
Thank you. Yes, ODOT has planned this project for fiscal year '26. This will get the project designed and developed and bid, entering into this legislation. The project estimated cost $2.2 million, a little over $2.2 million, of which $855,000 ODOT will fund.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Coin.
Yes.
DeSalvo.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Simmons.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Ordinance 8225 passes 6-0.
Ordinance 8325, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a professional services agreement with T&M Associates for consulting services to implement the Ohio Department of Development Brownfield Remediation Program grant.
Move to approve?
Second.
Discussion.
Mr. President?
Mr. Shields.
The emergency clause has been requested. I move to add it this time.
My second includes the emergency clause.
Discussion on the emergency clause and the ordinance. Mrs. Marshall.
Thank you, Mr. President. This request is to authorize the mayor to enter into the professional services agreement with T&M Associates for the consulting services to implement Ohio Department of Development Brownfield Remediation Program Assessment Grant. This is for the former Yosunoko site located at 426 West Liberty Street. The agreement has been reviewed and approved by the law director. The emergency clause is requested as the grant deadline is actually June 30th of 2025. And I've outlined a timeline for the Port Authority to request an extension, but we'd like to get the consultant going on this as soon as possible because the scope of work is about a 3 to 4 month time period. The grant is for $300,000 and our matching funds are $100,000, although the budget came in around $385,000. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Will the clerk please call the roll on the adoption of the emergency clause?
DeSalvo.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Simmons.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
Emergency passes 6-0.
Will the clerk please call the roll on the adoption of the ordinance?
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Simmons.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
DeSalvo.
Yes.
Ordinance 8325 passes 6-0.
Ordinance 8425, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a guaranteed maximum price agreement number 3 with the Ruling Company for the work at the Medina Municipal Courthouse.
Move to approve?
Second.
Discussion?
Mr. President?
Mr. Shields?
The emergency clause has been requested. I move to add it this time.
My second includes the emergency clause.
Discussion on the emergency clause and the ordinance. Mr. Patton.
Thank you. This is GMP number 3. Council has previously approved GMPs 1 and 2. The total value of this agreement will be $7,674,000, bringing the total cost, construction cost, not including architect fees and some other fees, total construction cost of the courthouse at $10,671,000. We are asking for the emergency clause because the base agreement, which kicked this all off, was signed last September. Passing the emergency clause will lock in these costs, allow us to get materials ordered and the project moving.
Thank you. I just want to take a moment that this is a monumental vote here because we started this back in 2001 is when we started talking about the courthouse. And as council at that time put the municipal courthouse as the top capital project that needed to be addressed. We've been through several iterations of the court, several locations of the court, the latest of which was the combination of the county and municipal court joining forces to be located in a now existing new county courthouse facility. As you recall, we were challenged on that and it went to the voters, and unfortunately we were not able to proceed with the county. And that cost at that time was $7.8 million to join with the county. As Pat Patrick mentioned, the current cost is $10.4 million, but he leaves out the architectural fees of $750,000, $740,000. So we're closer to $11.4 million at this project at this time. The idea of combining efforts with the county was going to save on operating costs, and it still does because we are locating in the 1969, which I learned today was really the 1968 building, because I think they moved in 1969, but it was completed in 1968. I didn't know that. That's a piece of history that was just given. I think, Patrick, you told me that.
That's what the plaque inside the building says, 1968.
So I'm glad you read the plaque. So we move forward, and we're still saving on some operational efficiencies by using the Sally Port, which will drop off the prisoners at that location, and they'll be located in holding cells and shepherded up to the in-custody elevators to the various the courtroom in the municipal court building. So there is a savings there, and of course we are using the same entrance and the security entrance for all members entering the court facilities. We'll go through that, and that'll be a savings. And also we'll be hopefully using, I think, some of the computer rooms or whatever in the main building to locate the servers that service our court also. So I think it's still a good thing. It's located in one location, as I mentioned several times, that people who enter the courts, when you say go to the courts, sometimes they show up in the municipal courts, sometimes they show up in the common pleas courts. So now, if they show up in either one, they're right next to each other, so I don't think that would be a big travel distance for them to go to the correct court. So this has come to the culmination of where we have this vote where we're going to move this project along. Now, you may say $11.4 million, how are we going to pay for that? The good thing about this is that we saved all those years and we don't have to borrow money to do this. So we're saving money as a city to accomplish this goal. And we are going to allocate out of that about $3.4 million is coming from the city of Medina, and approximately a little over $8 million is coming from the court special project fund, of which they had around $5 million to begin with. They spent some down. It's a fluent number. The court fees are still being assessed. So I think with the anticipation bonds that we talked about that Keith mentioned earlier in finance, we are going to allocate about $5 million from the court special projects and about $3 million, I think you said, from the 301 or the city's funds to pay for the court over time. What this means to the citizens is that over time, when the funds and fees come in from the court special project fund, it'll help pay back the money that the city will loan the court special project fund to be paid back over time. Now, this may take 20 years, 30 years, but we will continue to get paid back. It only seems fair that that happens in that fashion, since a majority of the users of the court system, the municipal court system, is made up by townships. The city, of course, is located in the seat of Medina for the Medina Municipal Court, but there are, I can't remember how many townships make up the jurisdiction, but it's 2/3, 11? I believe so. 11 townships make up and use the municipal court. So that's where some of the fees will come to pay for it. So it's not put on the backs of the city residents all the way. And I think that we all talked about that and agreed that that makes sense. So hopefully that'll continue. It'll certainly survive this council and maybe future councils, but I think that the plan is to move forward with it. The plan is to get paid back by the court special projects fund and have a court system that is integrated in one location. I think that took only 24 years to do it, but I think we're there. Mayor?
But just a couple clarifications. In addition to the townships and villages that report to the municipal court, Brunswick does also, for those that choose not to go to the mayor's court, and our assistant law director handles the prosecution of those cases on Brunswick's behalf as well. And the other is just a clarification for the viewers that might be watching. The voters voted to permit the city to use the 1969. The reason the city was not able to go along with the additional floor on the new courthouse for the $7.9 million was because the county had already issued the bonds and wanted to keep the project moving, and we had to wait until the next general election to get this in front of the voters. So it was more timing, not the voters saying, we don't want you to do this.
Sure, sure. And we're hopeful that Mr. Patton over there can get the project even further under budget.
We will.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions on this?
A
Rose?
point of clarification to the mayor. It wasn't the next general election, it was the next election. Because the voters said no in November of 20, and then they said yes in May of 21. Okay, just for that. And this was brought to you by the Committee to Stop Government Waste, and that committee stopped us from saving $3.2 million, $3 million in construction costs and approximately $200,000 in legal fees that the city had to, it was forking over because a group of people just wanted to be obstructionists. So next time you hear people yelling and screaming that something's not right, stop, look at the facts, look at everything, use some common sense, and listen to what's being said from all sides. Don't listen to a bunch of loudmouth crybabies. Thank you.
Any other comments?
Mr. Coyne?
Yeah, Mr. Shields?
Just a couple other clarifications. The city does have an obligation to provide suitable premises for the court, so that's why the city is in charge of this project, because it's located, the Munich Court is located here in Medina. And reminder, too, that the building across the street is, I believe, now 45 years old, in need of upgrades, especially with security, and just the amount of growth that has happened in those 45 years is what also is requiring the need for a bigger courthouse.
Yes, indeed. Any other questions or comments? Okay, will the clerk please call the roll on the adoption of the emergency clause?
Shields.
Yes.
Simmons.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
DeSalvo.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Emergency passes 6-0.
Will the clerk please call the roll on the adoption of the ordinance?
Simmons.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
DeSalvo.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Ordinance 8425 passes 6-0.
Ordinance 8525, an ordinance amending ordinance number 20924 passed November 25th, 2024, amendments to the 2025 budget.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion, Mr. Durham.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is just a pass-through. We need to appropriate it for them to be able to spend it.
Any other questions? Will the clerk please call the roll on the adoption of the ordinance?
Simpson.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
DeSalvo.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Simmons.
Yes.
Ordinance 8525 passes 6-0.
Council comments. Mr. Simpson.
Thank you. I'll just be real brief. Please keep in your thoughts and prayers. The way our economy is going right now, hopefully it will get better, but there are a lot of people out there that are suffering from higher cost on just about everything. For people that have put their savings into 401ks for their retirement, they've been getting hit. There's a lot of people suffering. There's people, tens of thousands of people that lost their jobs with no fault of their own. So it's more important now to remember to be kind to everyone. Help where you can, and be kind. It will help. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Simmons?
Yeah, I was going to do a shout out to Chief Ed Kenny, but Lieutenant Markham, you get the kudos. I stopped in on some ward business and was granted a walkthrough and to see all the capabilities, and it was very, very impressive on the police department. So well done down there. And Mr. Worley, congratulations. The shade tree got to participate, as you mentioned, with the tree planting. And Dale Wygant, again, did a wonderful job. and Kiwanis pulled through to help us with our 43-year consecutive Tree City USA. So thank you, Jensen, for coordinating that.
Thank you. Any other comments?
Nope, I'm good.
Mr. Rose?
Okay. Thank you, Mr. President. Tuesday, May 6th is a special election day. We've got one thing on the ballot, issue 2, and that will give the state the ability to borrow up to $2.5 billion, meeting out over 2.5 million, or I forget the exact numbers, but it's $2.5 billion for 10 years, a year for 10 years. And what this does is allow infrastructures for local communities, infrastructure improvements for local communities, and statewide projects and things like that. So it's really, 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 I don't know, disappointing when you go to the Board of Elections and you're the only one there. And this is a vote that really, really impacts you in some way, shape, or form. But yeah, when you go to like a national election, you have to stand in line for 3 hours to vote for somebody who doesn't know whether you exist or not. So get out and vote for something that you'll feel in your wallet immediately. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? Okay, the meeting is adjourned.